doing the second chapter of SST, that is the Southern Plateaus. Now the word plateau, children, plateau is a land which is higher than the surroundings. It looks like a table on the top. And in this lesson, we are going to learn about the location and the physical features of the Southern Plateau. Then we'll be learning about the people who are living there, the life of the people of the Southern Plateau. See what they're saying in this chapter. A plateau is a raised stretch of a land that is flat on the top. It resembles a tabletop, hence it is called also a tableland. The Southern Plateau are located to the south of the Northern Plains. We had studied about the Northern Plains in the previous chapter, and we saw in the map of India, the Northern Plains was in this region. In this region, we had the Northern Plains. And the Southern Plateau is just below this Northern Plains. You can see the Southern Plateau is located over here. Right? It is triangular in shape. Can you see the shape over here? It's triangular in shape. And it is broad towards the north and narrow towards the south. The Southern Plateau, it covers a large part of the country. They stretch about 1,600 kilometers from north to south and 1,400 kilometers from the east to the west. Okay? The surface of the plateau region is rocky. It is not smooth land. It is uneven. Okay? The Southern Plateaus are surrounded by hills. You'll find a lot of hills over here on all the sides. First and foremost, you can see the Aravalli Hills over here. That is, it is on the northwest, and you will see the Rajmahal Hills. See over here the Rajmahal Hills, it is located in the northeast. Alright? Okay, the Eastern Ghat and the Western Ghats are in the eastern and the western boundaries respectively. We all know this is the Eastern Ghat and this is the Western Ghat. The river Narmada, you can see over here the river Narmada is given in red. This river Narmada divides this entire plateau into two parts. First is the Central Highlands and then you have the Deccan Plateau. Alright? Now first we will be taking up the Central Highlands. See, the Central Highlands are further divided into two parts. One is the Malwa Plateau and one is the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Now children, you should be knowing that the place that where you are living in, Purulia, it is also placed on a tableland, and this plateau region is the Chota Nagpur Plateau where we are residing. The Malwa Plateau is located towards the northwest, in between the Aravalli Hills and the Vindhya Hills. You can see it over here. See the Malwa Plateau. Here is the Vindhya Hills and here is the Aravalli Hills. So the Malwa Plateau is located in between these two hills. Okay. The general slope of this plateau is from south to north. This explains why the rivers of this region join the Ganga from the south. Black soil is found in this region and it is good for the growth of cotton and sugarcane. The Chota Nagpur Plateau from the northeast part of the Central Highlands. This region is rich in minerals such as coal, iron, manganese, mica and bauxite. The regions have huge deposits of coal. The main coal mining centers are Jharia, Giridih, Bokaro, Dhanbad and Raniganj. I am sure that all of you have heard the names because it is close by to our place. Then we come to the Deccan Plateau, which is to the south. The Deccan Plateau covers the largest part of the southern plateaus. The highest peak of the Deccan Plateau is Anaimudi. Children, you can have a look. Anaimudi is right to the south over here. Okay? Alright. This is the highest peak of the Deccan Plateau. The land in the Deccan Plateau is uneven. The color and the texture of the soil varies from place to place. The northwest part of the Deccan Plateau has black soil It is good for growth of cotton and sugarcane. Many rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri have their origin in the Deccan Plateau. These rivers, they flow from west to east. That means they are flowing from this side to this side, okay? From west to east. And they fall into the Bay of Bengal. We all know the Bay of Bengal is situated here. If they are going to fall from west to east, obviously they will be meeting the Bay of Bengal. This is because the general slope of the Deccan Plateau is from west to east. The rivers of the Deccan Plateau, they flow with great speed. Since the land is uneven, they form a number of waterfalls. The Jog Falls on the river Saravati is the highest waterfall in India. However, two rivers, the Narmada and the Tapi, flow from east to west. This is an exception, children. You have to remember this, that the rivers Narmada and Tapi, they flow from east to west. Now obviously if they are going to flow from this side to this side, then where they will go? They will go to the Arabian Sea. Alright. So they join the Arabian Sea. Among the rivers of this Deccan Plateau, the Godavari River is regarded as one of the most sacred rivers of the south. Similarly, Kaveri is called the Dakshin Ganga. Most of the rivers in the Deccan Plateau are seasonal. That is, they get rainfall during the rainy season and they dry up more or less during the summer season. They are rain-fed and they dry up partially or totally during summer. Many dams have been built on these rivers. The Mettur Dam on the Kaveri, the Nagarjun Sagar Dam on the Krishna, the Hirakud Dam on Mahanadi are important and famous dams. The Deccan Plateau is very rich in minerals and therefore it is called the storehouse of the minerals. Now we come to the life of the people who are living in this Deccan Plateau, in the Southern Plateau. And it covers the states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Simandhara and Tamil Nadu. Madhya Pradesh, the capital of Madhya Pradesh, you all know it is Bhopal. And some of the popular cities, Indore, Gwalior, Jabalpur. The Khana National Park and the Bandhavgarh National Park has been set up to protect the tigers. Panchmari and Sanchi Stupa and the temples of Kajiraho attract thousands of tourists from all over the world. Panna is famous for diamond mines. Wheat and cotton are the main crops grown here. Children, so you should know which are the important cities, what are the historical places that is found out here in the state, what it is famous for. Like Madhya Pradesh is famous for Panna, which is the diamond mines, and what crops are grown, wheat and cotton. Then we come to Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh lies to the south of Chotanagpur Plateau. So just below where we are on the Chotanagpur Plateau, below that we have Chhattisgarh. Raipur is the capital of this state. The state is rich in minerals. Coal, iron and manganese are mined over here. Villai steel plant is located in this state. The farmers, they grow rice, linseed, beetle and watermelon. Then we come to Jharkhand. Very close by to us, Ranchi is the capital of the state. It is rich in mineral and forest reserves. I'm sure that most of you have been to Ranchi, and while on the way you can see a lot of forest. The main industrial towns are Jamshedpur, Bokaro and Dhanbad of Jharkhand. Then we come to Orissa. Bhubaneswar is the capital city and Puri is the city of the temples. The Jagannath temple and the famous Rath Yatra attract many tourists every year. Cuttack is the main industrial city. Orissa is famous for its textile and silver work. Rice and jute, main crops grown. Odissi is a popular classical dance from the state. People here speak Oriya. Then we come to Maharashtra. Maharashtra lies in the northwestern part of the Deccan Plateau. Mumbai is the capital of the state. It is also called the business capital or the financial capital of India. I'm sure you all know that. The rivers Godavari and Krishna pass through this region. The soil in Maharashtra is good for growing cotton and sugarcane. People also grow jowar, bajra, groundnuts and fruits like oranges, grapes and mangoes. Nagpur is famous for oranges, and Alfonso, a fine variety of mango, is grown out here. Now the most important festival, I'm sure you have watched, all of you, it is Ganesh Chaturthi. Yes, and the famous Ajanta and the Ellora caves are found in Aurangabad. The people are fond of music and dance. Tamasha is a folk dance of the state. Marathi is the main language. Men in Maharashtra, they love to wear dhoti shirt, while the women, they wear a 9-yard sari tied in a special way. Bhel puri and pani puri and pav bhaji are the special dishes of Maharashtra. Then we come a little down, that is towards the south, Karnataka, which is to the south of Maharashtra. Alright. Tungabhadra and Kaveri rivers flow through the state. Farming is the main occupation of the people. Jowar, ragi, cotton, coffee and sugarcane and spices are the main crops grown here. Kannada is the main language. People are fond of dance and music. Yakshagana is the traditional folk theatre. Music of Karnataka is famous throughout the country. Bangalore is the capital. It is called the Garden City of India. It is also known as the Silicon Valley of the East because of the IT sector. There are a lot of IT sectors out here. Mysore is famous for the Mysore Palace and Vrindavan Gardens. Other tourist attractions are the Jog Falls, the highest waterfall in India, and the Bandipur National Park. Then we come to Telangana and Simandara. Telangana and Simandara lie to the east of Karnataka. Farming is the main occupation of the people. People out here, they grow crops like rice, jowar, sugarcane, tobacco, groundnut. Telangana is the largest producer of tobacco in India. Bidri work on brass and copper is very famous. This is called Bidri, the work that is done out of brass and copper. Telugu is the main language spoken. Hyderabad is capital of both Telangana and Simandara. It is famous for Charminar and the Salarjung Museum. Tirupati is the most famous pilgrim center. The temple of Lord Venkateshwara is situated over here. Other places which is famous for visiting is Lumbini Park, High Tech City, NTR Park and Golconda Fort. Pongal and Ugadi are the main festivals. Kuchipudi is the most popular dance. And lastly, we reach to the tip of the southern plateau, that is Tamil Nadu. Chennai is the capital. The state is famous for its temple towns of Madurai, Tanjavur, Tiruchirappalli and Kanchipuram. This state is known for the silk saris that are woven in Kanchipuram, Coimbatore and Madurai. Farming is the main occupation. Farmers, they grow rice, sugarcane, cotton and groundnut. Tea and coffee are grown on the slopes of the Nilgiri hills. Then we have the traditional dance which is very famous, Bharatnatyam. Tamil is the main language spoken in Tamil Nadu. So that's all about this lesson.